Is that on?
Yeah, no, the.
Okay.
I think battery died on that one.
Hello. Hello.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey.
My personal opinion is wearable computing is definitely coming. But first, I think it would be coming in the professional, for professional use cases, such as in hospitals or for telepresence, to guide remote workers with a local domain expert to carry out repairs with complex machines that are shipped overseas to clients, for example. But I'm very happy that Google made a big buzz around Google Glass because wearable computing is now, everybody gets aware of wearable computing now, and we'll see more and more smaller and smaller devices, and I'm very happy about that trend, which I would not have thought about 10 years ago.
So yeah, I think in order to get mass adoption, there are probably a number of things that will really, that depend on that. One is you have to have like developers building killer apps. The platform has to be easy to develop, and I think Google has done a great job in not only allowing people to use mirror APIs for people who are more comfortable developing on services, but you can actually build like Android apps and install it on the Glass device. So as soon as we get killer apps and we have developers engaged, then I think the only other thing that probably would maybe leave some skepticism or whatever is people have to be able to afford to buy it. So if the price point is attractive, closer to what smartphones cost these days, then I think there's no stopping.
How do you see the state of glassware applications today, and how do you see it progressing?
Yeah, I think that there are a lot of innovative services that can be built around glass, and I see a lot of companies already engaging in. And the kinds of questions I get asked every time I read glass is really, very encouraging, because I think just like any other device that comes out, I mean, I kind of saw the whole Java ME revolution. I saw it when there was people never used mobile phones. We didn't have phones, and then I saw the whole market come about from 0 to millions to billions of devices, and the area that really got hot was gaming. And I think the same thing is going to happen with wearable computing. I think certain devices will be hot in certain areas, and like my other panelists have shared, that it will be very attractive for any field that requires hands-free operation. Anytime you need, things like for doctors and stuff, I talk to a lot of doctors and people in the pharmaceutical areas and stuff like that. So they were very interested in the technology.
So I said I'm really, really excited about Google Glass. I think I misspoke. It's not Google Glass that I'm excited about. It's the applications that you guys are going to put on Glass that makes it exciting. When you made those apps for the cell phone, no one could imagine what you were going to build. And then once we saw what you were building with augmented reality and the pharmaceutical apps and the games, we were just blown away. So I think I'm just excited about the platform and the tools that were given and the imagination and the insight that you guys have that what we can do with this stuff that's really exciting. So it's not Glass that's exciting, it's what you guys are going to do with it that's exciting.
Anybody here building glass apps? A few? You guys are.
A simple mirror API.
Yeah. Anybody building a glass app they want to share? Or tell us what it is. Mike? I'm really interested to hear what you guys want to do with this.
So I work for a small startup called Tickle. We make communications apps. So I'm working on first a walkie-talkie version, like communications app for Glass. I got that working on Monday, so I had a call with a phone running our standard version and then we'll probably also do like a mirror API for messaging. So yeah, that's what I'm working on.
I don't have a company, but I write apps just for my own use. So I shop a lot product search on Walmart, Target. Is this working?
Yeah.
Home Depot. I basically rewrote their sites so it could be presented on Google Glass very fast and with smaller footprint. And Google Finance also, for especially the stock, the real-time stock quotes and market data and the charts. So I find that very useful, especially when you're busy during the day and you need to be notified important stock price.
So what? Yeah, anyone else? No? Okay, so it's a young ecosystem. What are you guys' impression of the development environment for Glass? There's the Mirror API out now, hopefully a GDK coming out soon.
Yeah, I think that, I think it's really important that the right environment is provided. The Mirror API every day is having more and more functionality built into it, and it's a very fast way for someone who doesn't know anything about Glass to get into it. So you can start off with the Mirror API and start building pretty quick. If you want to get deeper into building like something, what we're doing is you can actually look down at your hand and look at the pills you have in your hand. It'll tell you the pills, when you last took them, when you have to take them again, if you could drink or eat with them. So if you're elderly and you can't see very well, it'll tell you right in your ear what you're holding in your hand. Those apps, you can write native Android apps, and you can actually write them on the phone and test them on the phone, and then run them on Glass, and they pretty much act the same. So I think they have a very nice transition from someone who doesn't know Glass at all to someone who wants to do very advanced augmented reality apps. I think there's a nice transition and an easy way to get into Glass development.
Here, try this one. This one's dead.
So
We're running out of mics.
Yeah, that's
Android apps, I'm a developer evangelist primarily for Android. I run a study group that started when Android started, and it's the same thing. Now we're doing Glass apps. So it's the same experience we had at the beginning of Android, where we were at the right time, right place to put an app out there and then see it like get 450,000 downloads. It's exciting to be an early adopter. I think all of us, we don't care how it looks because we're excited about being an early adopter. There we go. Hello. It's the mics.
Is it?
Technology.
Is that wireless?
Hello.
Maybe the wireless.
So anyway, Google announced the Google developer, the Glass developer, GDK. So we're waiting for that, and a lot of us are sidelined because of that, because we're really interested in pushing the innovation further than just a RESTful API can do. An example of that, and one of the open source projects I started recently, is an alternative to just voice commands or touching this to do commands. Why don't we have use Bluetooth with a remote control, or I actually was experimenting with Brainwave's headset, so you can actually use Brainwaves maybe to control the Google Glass. So alternative input methods, alternative UIs, and I think using Android will really push the limit as what you can do.
Hello. I'm very excited about Google Glass and the Mirror API. It allows you already to create many proof of concepts, but I think to take your applications to the next step, to really powerful interactive applications, I'm really looking forward to the GDK to come out, and so that we have live interactive applications that read with short cycle times of the sensor input, and where you can do live image processing, be it with your whatever favorite library it is that you have, So I'm really excited about the GDK because I think that will allow you to create some really polished products. With the Mirror API, it's very good, but right now I feel that it's mostly proof of concepts that you can create with those.
It does seem to be a challenge, right, to think of what you can do with the Mirror API. It's like you're given a very small instruction set, and thinking of all the things you want to do that you could do with a full-blown Android development kit. And then you have to kind of get creative, don't you, with the Mirror API?
Right. And I mean, the most limiting factor is basically the signal round trip time to get the signal from the sensors to the Google servers to your own glassware and then back to glass.
Yeah, so here at Intuit, we actually, did experiments with both. So initially, I was involved in during our unstructured time. We did some development, and we did like an innovation experiment, and that was around hooking it up with a Mint service to be able to get like accounting information, like about your bank account balances and stuff. And we found that to be, in the beginning it was hard, but then once we got the hang of it, one thing that was clear is that the playground was very useful for prototyping very quickly. So that was very, very cool. And then we also were able to, I believe, if for those of you who attended my other talk, I demoed a GlassPay app. And that was basically, we hooked it up with another, like a GoPayment app, where a user, a customer that goes in a store and does some shopping will do like a checkout. And then when he gets all the receipt details are captured, and there's a QR code that gets generated. And then the QR code can be scanned using a glass. And then the person who's making the purchase can automatically either accept or decline the payment that way. So that was basically a native Android app. So that was very easy, and we were able to basically sideload the APK onto Glass. So I think today it is possible to do both. It's just, it's just a matter of time, I think, before we will hopefully get the GDK.
I think this one's still working, is it?
Try holding just the tail of the microphone. I think the
It's
antenna
a
is in the
wireless
middle.
problem.
Oh, like this?
Yeah, there you go.
We have a very clever audience.
It's an iPhone issue.
Were you guys able to hear me at the back? I hope you.
No. Oh. Okay, well, hopefully the rest of you'll be able to hear from now on, hopefully. So hold it like this.
It needs a sleeves.
FYI. Just shout loudly. I don't think the mics are helping at this point, except for one of them.
All right. Does that one work when you hold it like this?
Yeah, it works.
I don't know. But I have to say that doing development between Mirror and doing the APK is the same thing.
Put it close to your mouth.
So doing Mirror
Close to your mouth.
and the APK is the same between doing HTML5 when you do mobile. You can do mobile HTML5, or you can do native development on mobile. You can kind of look at it that way. We do rapid development with Mirror to try to figure out what the application is going to really feel like, and then we go native APK when we actually want to build the app. So the same way you guys make decisions about, do I want to do a native mobile app or do I want to do a mobile HTML5 app? That's kind of like the same decisions we make when we want to do the Mirror API or do the native Glass development.
So somebody doing development now, you would advise them to concentrate on these sort of proofs of concept. What is your app going to look like? What's it going to feel like? Because
Right.
this is really a new user interface, isn't it?
Right. The rapid development is going to be a lot easier with the Mirror API. So it's like a duck to water. Google's made it super easy for you guys to work on that. So just to do a proof of concept, you could do almost anything you want to do with the Mirror API. It won't be real time. It might not have all the pretty functionality you could have with the native development. Figure out how you want it to work, and then build it on the cell phone with the NDK, and then sideload it onto Glass when you're ready to go.
Yeah. I might point out that all the moderator cards